Welcome back once again to another episode of Jack's Tech Corner. I'm your host Jack, and this is another video tutorial of Photoshop Elements. This is version 7, but this technique will work exactly the same way in version 6. Also, if you noticed on the intro, I wanted to introduce my new DVD. The DVD is for sale on the website. Go to jackstechcorner.com. This DVD, the videos will play on a Mac or on a Windows PC, and it comes complete with 45 videos, everything from organizing all the way up through some of the best editing that I've showed. So once again, the DVD is available, so please head over to the website, jackstechcorner.com, and pick up your copy today. With that announcement out of the way, I wanted to go ahead and start with showing you how to take two individual pictures that you have taken somewhere, and we're going to merge those together to do a little bit of trick photography. A lot of these trick photography, and I'm working on a couple of different segments for this type of show, but this allows us to join two pictures together and to make an unbelievable picture that you can frame and hang on the wall. Maybe you standing on the side of a hillside, and then have another picture of a cliff, and maybe having you bungee jumping over the cliff or something. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to use for this video tutorial is this kayaker and this waterfall. So I'm going to select them both. Then I'm going to right click on this and go to Full Edit. So we're going to go ahead and open those up in our Full Editor. And I've had a couple people writing in saying when they try to do this, they cannot get the proper alignment of their pictures, or their pictures do not want to come together properly. But the real trick here is to actually keep both of the pictures open in your editor at all times. If you minimize these down here to the bin, then what happens is you can't merge these pictures together. So just keep them open, and what I do is I keep them layered like this, so I can click on each individual picture and open them up when I need them. And you can see down here they're on separate layers. So this is how I actually set these up. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to extract the kayaker from this background. So that way we can keep the kayaker on a transparent layer. We don't need all the water behind the kayaker. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my quick selection tool. Click on that, and I'm just going to start tracing over the kayak. I'm going to go up the handlebar here, or the paddle. I'm going to go across the helmet, down the hair. And don't worry if you make a mistake on this. I'm going to show you here how to correct your mistakes, because you'll see I'll have a few here myself, and that's okay. We're going to add this paddle in here. We want to try to make sure we get all the kayaker without this water and stuff in the background. So this is a little bit of a tedious job. But if you go up here, and I showed this before when we showed the extractor, we're going to subtract from the selection. And now we can go right here, we can go right around this kayak, and you can see it'll start pulling that up away from that water. Go back here, we're going to go across this back end just a little bit. And down right here, down right below the hairline. Then we're going to come down in front of the helmet to the hand, or to the arm, and then come inside and try to get this out of the way. We don't want this stuff either. Let's get that out of the way, and right in there. But as you can see here, we lost the arm again. So go back up to the plus button. We're going to add this back in. Add some more of the kayak down here so we make sure we're on the water. And right back in here, you can see it's up off the water just a little bit. You want to get as much of the kayak in there as you can to make it as realistic as possible. Okay. Looks pretty good. Could be a little cleaner. Like I said, take your time and work on these. Get that minus going again there. You want to take your time and get it as nice as possible to make it look as realistic as possible. So you can see I lost just a little bit of the paddle. And we're going to select this paddle again. There we go. Now, the kayaker is cut out. Or it's selected. So we have the kayaker selected. Now what you want to do, I know I showed you in the past, we can take this picture, we can go up to select, and we can go inverts. And what inverse does is selects everything but the kayaker. We can delete the background. But there's a simpler way to do it. Let's just go up here and create a new layer. We're going to create it via copy. Then right here now, you can see we have the kayaker cut out. Here's with the water. Here it's cut out. The layer is right there, layer number 1. Now all we need to do at that point is we're going to go up here, click on the selection tool, or the move tool, pull this down a little bit, grab the kayaker and pull it up and drop it right onto the water. Now you can see here's our background is the water, and there's the transparency with the kayaker. At that point you can take the kayak down here. We can actually close that. We no longer need that. We have all the information we need out of that particular picture. Now let's pull the kayaker down so we can see what's going on. Now we can very easily drop this kayaker in here, but it doesn't really look that impressive. It looks like we took a background and we threw a picture on it. So the first thing we have to do is make the kayaker more proportionate to the actual scene. The boat's too big, it looks like it's too far up. If you hold your shift key down and put your mouse down until it turns into the double arrow, you hold your shift key down to maintain the constraints. So when you pull this thing, it kind of stays together better. You want to make the kayaker a little smaller. Then click your check marks. Now we can move the kayaker back into place. Put the kayaker right about there. Now that looks okay, but it still looks pretty straight, like it was a straight-on shot. We know that didn't happen. The kayaker, we can see the waterfalls going over, so the kayaker is probably going to be going this direction over the fall. So what you want to do at that point, come up here to Image, go to Rotate, and come down here to Free Rotate Layer. Now what we can do, as you see his double arrows pointing down, we can actually move his kayaker down like the kayaker is going over the falls. Click the checkbox when you got it the way you want it. Pull it back down and get it back into a placement. There you go. Now, if we select this layer, we can see that we get rid of that box around the kayaker, and we can see what it looks like. It looks pretty realistic. So far, so good. The only thing I didn't like about this was the kayaker was shot in better light. You can see the waterfall is a little dark, but the kayaker is really, really bright. So here's what we need to do now is click on this layer, click the adjustment layers. Let's go down to levels. Once you get your level selected, don't touch anything on the levels, because what's going to happen here is if we adjust this level, look how it adjusts the whole picture up and down. Now you can adjust it and make it brighter, but we just want to work with the kayaker, one piece. We want to work with this layer. So click OK, and now on your keyboard hit Control G, or on a Mac it's Command G, and what that does, it locks it, or it links it to just this layer. Then double click it. Now we can adjust just the kayaker. Look at the kayak getting brighter. We're going to turn this back down a little bit. There you go. And what we're doing is you can brighten it up here, but we actually want to darken it down just a little bit to make it kind of blend in with the scenery or with the lighting around the kayaker. And click OK. Now at that point you have a picture. If you fit to screen, we can see we have a picture of a kayaker, the boat's in the water, and the boat's going over the falls. Now we know that kayaker didn't go over those falls that day, but nobody else may ever know. You can take his picture, get it developed, frame it, put it on your wall, and have a great conversation piece. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little trick photography video. And I hope you stop back to view all the rest of the videos on YouTube. By all means, everybody's been clicking through the ads. I see people's been interested in the ads, so that's great. It helps being a partner. And by all means, jump over to jackstechcorner.com and pick up a copy of the DVD. And then you'll have a great set of video tutorials that you can work with in very, very high resolution. That's why they're really worth having. And I normally ship them the day of, sometimes, or at least the day after your order. So they'll go right out to you in the mail. Or if you know anybody that's getting into photos or Photoshop, it'd be a great Christmas gift. So until next time, I'll see you back here very soon. Keep those cameras clicking, keep the editors editing, and bye for now.